It was a cold winter afternoon. Snow lay thick on the ground, muffling the footsteps of the few passers-by brave enough to venture into the park. The trees, bare and skeletal, stood like quiet mourners. On an old wooden bench wrapped in a long dark coat and a woolen scarf, sat Raymond Carter, a man once known for his empire of luxury hotels, for his generous donations to charities, and for the laughter that once echoed from his mansion. Now all that remained was silence. Raymond's once sharp eyes, now dulled with sorrow, stared into the distance. A year had passed since Margaret, his wife of 47 years, had breathed her last. She had died on Christmas morning, and with her went every spark of joy that had once warmed his heart. The grand halls of his home stood cold. His children, scattered across continents, had sent their condolences and flowers, but not one had come to see him. The phone calls became fewer. Eventually, they stopped altogether. He didn't blame them. Not entirely. He had built a life around business, fortune, and appearances. Perhaps in his pursuit of success, he had missed the moments that mattered most. Perhaps now he was paying the price. Raymond adjusted the scarf around his neck, feeling the weight of his years pressing on him more heavily than ever. He didn't come to the park for company. He knew he wouldn't find any. He came because this was where Margaret loved to walk. He would sit and close his eyes, pretending to hear her laughter again, the way it used to bubble up, like a song when she saw children playing or squirrels scampering. That's when he noticed her, a small girl, no more than 7, bundled in a pink coat, her mittens dragging as she struggled to lift a snowball. Her cheeks were flushed, her smile wide. Her mother, standing nearby, called out gently, "Be careful, Lily." Lily. The name hit something deep in Raymond's chest. The girl glanced toward him, their eyes meeting briefly. Most children would turn away, intimidated by his stern, aging face. But she smiled wide and bright, and then, to his astonishment, ran over to him. "Hi," she chirped. "You look cold." He blinked, unsure how to respond. I'm fine, thank you." "Are you waiting for someone?" Raymond shook his head slowly. "No, not anymore." Lily studied him, her eyes full of that unfiltered honesty children possess. Then she climbed up beside him, barely tall enough for her legs to hang off the edge of the bench. "My mommy says we should always invite someone who's alone to dinner, especially near Christmas. Do you want to come with us?" Raymond's breath caught in his throat. No one had invited him anywhere in a long time. He glanced over at her mother, who had started walking toward them. He expected her to call the girl away, to offer a polite smile and a firm no. But instead she smiled warmly. "I hope my daughter isn't bothering you," she said gently. "Not at all," Raymond replied, still dazed. "She has a big heart," the woman said. "We're just a small family, just me and her, but you're welcome to join us. No pressure, of course." He almost declined. It felt wrong imposing on strangers. But something inside him, a voice he hadn't heard in so long, whispered to go. Dinner was modest. A warm stew, fresh bread, and laughter that filled the tiny apartment in ways his mansion never could. They talked about books, dreams, and memories. Lily showed him her drawings. Her mother, Emma, talked about the community center, where she worked as a counselor. Raymond felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. He felt human. Over the next few weeks he returned. Sometimes he'd bring groceries, sometimes a story from his youth. Lily called him Mr. Raymond at first, then Grandpa Raymond before long. He helped her with a school project once and left with a paper crown on his head. But one night, just before New Year's Eve, he dreamt of Margaret. She was standing in the park just as he remembered, wearing her favorite blue coat. Snowflakes danced around her, catching in her hair. She was smiling. "You found them," she said softly. He reached for her, but she stepped back. "Love isn't always where you expect it to be, Raymond, but it's always where it's needed." He woke with tears in his eyes. That morning, he opened a drawer he hadn't touched since Margaret's death. Inside was an old photo of them in the very park where he met Lily. He turned it over. On the back, written in Margaret's hand, were the words, "Even in the winter of life, love can bloom." He stared at the message, wondering if she had known. When he visited Emma and Lily again, he brought the photo. Emma gasped when she saw it. "I know this spot," she said. "It's where Lily was born. I mean, not literally, but I was sitting right there when I decided to keep her." Raymond looked at her in surprise. Emma nodded. "I was young, scared, and alone. I thought I couldn't raise a child on my own. but that morning something told me I could. I felt watched over, loved. I felt like someone was saying, "You won't be alone." He looked at the photo again. Over time, Raymond sold his mansion. He bought a smaller house near Emma and Lily, one with a warm kitchen and a little garden. He donated much of his wealth to build a children's library named after Margaret. On Christmas Eve, 1 year after their first meeting, Emma handed him a gift. It was a framed drawing by Lily of all three of them under a tree smiling. "Merry Christmas, Grandpa Raymond," she whispered. He didn't say anything. He just held them both, tears running silently down his cheeks. He no longer felt alone. Love had returned, not in the form he expected, but in the form he needed. A second chance, a miracle born from kindness, a message from beyond. A family not by blood but by heart.